Hi, I'm Midge Shoemaker, and today is day 15 of my doing 100 days of YouTube videos and focusing on recognizing God's hand in my life. So, um, today I feel very, very blessed, very overwhelmed for um, everything that's going on in my life. I had a friend that was kind enough to take me downtown to the tow yard so I could get stuff out of my car so that the insurance could take my car and get all that taken care of. And I walked into the tow yard and the guy was looking at me and he was like, hey. And so I'm like, I went up there, it was no big deal. And he's like, told me to walk around to where to the entrance and stuff. So I walked around and he's standing behind my car and I'm like going in front of my car and he's looking at me and he's looking at my car. He's like, you were driving this? And he points at my car and I'm like, yep, I was. And I can see like a little scratch on the front fender and the bumper and fenders like kind of hanging off on the sides. But I mean, it doesn't look too bad from the front. And then I walked around to the side and I am so grateful that God helped me to maintain composure and be able to just take some pictures of my car. I asked him if I could take some pictures, so I just took some pictures and was able to just get inside and take some stuff out. I cut my hands on some glass because apparently there was the rear view mirror had come off and had a crack in it. Plus, apparently, I guess there was glass because the windshield, the rear windshield had broken. So I didn't realize there was all that glass in the front seat of my car. I don't even know where it all came from. I was like, there's a lot of glass, broken glass everywhere, like all the way from the rear view window to the front seat. Because it didn't look like any chunks of glass had come off of the rear view mirror. It was just cracked. So anyway, so I was just like, okay, I was just struggling to figure that out. I was trying to get stuff out. I was putting my hand down to like reach across the seat and I cut myself. So he was kind enough to get me a Band-Aid because I was bleeding. I didn't even notice I was bleeding. He said, you're bleeding? I'm like, oh, I am. And then it won't stop. So he had to give me a Band-Aid. And then I told him I had a passenger in my car. He's like, you had a passenger in your car? Like his eyes were kind of surprised the first time when I told him that I was driving that. And then they was even bigger when I told him I had a passenger in my car. And then he made the comment that we get a lot of fatalities. And I was like, well, my passenger was fine. He wasn't even injured. Safest place in my car. The only place the airbags didn't go off was in the passenger seat behind the driver's seat, which is where he was sitting. He happened to be sitting right behind me because the other side, the passenger side, was all smushed in. So I'm like, he would have been banged up just like me if he'd have been sitting on the other side. So I'm grateful it wasn't a fatality, but it was also confirmation to me that what God was telling me yesterday, that he was protecting me. I'm looking at my car and everything, that I was totally being protected the entire time. And not only that, but he was helping me to just stand there and look at my car and take pictures and not totally freak out in front of people. And then of course I walked back and I just got in the car and I started bawling before I could even show my friend my pictures. I just started crying and she was so sweet. She's like, we're just gonna sit here and wait for you to compose yourself. It's okay, don't worry, just let it out, it's okay. And I'm so grateful for friends like that in my life, reminding me that it's okay to cry, it's okay to be emotional, it's okay to break down. And just grateful for God and comforting me and pointing out to me how much he loves me and he's protecting me, and seeing my car like that and seeing that I'm still alive. I mean, I know not everybody survives. We all have a time limit as to how long we're supposed to be here and what we're supposed to do in our lives, but it gave me a sense of peace and a sense of knowing that I was saved for a reason. There's a purpose. There's things in my life I need to be doing, and maybe it's these videos, maybe it's my books, maybe it's something else, I don't even know. But that I have a purpose and that I have value, and I just really felt God's love today, and I'm so grateful for that. And I also just find it to be kind of funny is not the word, I don't think ironic's the word either, just interesting to see the reaction that I'm having and the emotions and feeling that peace and that sense of love from my Heavenly Father, because I'm sure in the past when I've everything's fallen apart or felt like it was falling apart, I would just be angry and crying and just turn away from everybody, shut everybody out of my life. And I don't feel like I'm doing that this time. I don't feel like this is a horrible thing. I feel like there was a reason for all of this. I feel like everything's going to be okay. I have this overwhelming sense of peace that I can't really describe. I can't really explain. And I just feel loved and grateful. And I feel like there's a purpose for me in my life, and that God is totally aware of what's going on and that he has a plan. And I don't know what that plan is, but this is all part of the plan, and this is going to get me going in the direction that I need to be going, and helping me to see myself the way that he sees me and to see value in myself, I think. So I feel very blessed and very grateful at this point, and just very grateful for friends and people that are willing to reach out and to help me with everything that's going on right now. And just, again, just totally amazed at my response and my reactions and the feelings of peace that I'm having right now. And it's a nice feeling, but I keep pointing it out because I'm not used to it. You know, when you're used to growing up with everything, you know, feeling like you're walking on broken glass all the time and afraid of your own shadow, right? You know, panic attacks, anxiety, never knowing if everything's okay or not okay, and constant negativity, you know, like a black hole of negativity, basically. And just that being the response, being elephant complainers, complaining about everything, thinking that life is miserable, you know, life's tough and then you die. That's something I heard growing up a lot. And I'm like, that's all there is to it. You know, it's, you know, but then seeing moments of peace and having that peace and being, okay, I feel like I'm at peace. And for once in my life, I'm not looking for the other shoe to drop. I'm not looking for everything to fall apart. I'm not looking for it to be, go back to being miserable. I'm like, okay, this is the beginning of a different direction, a different road that I have to take. This is going to be positive. This is going to be better. There's a purpose. There's a reason behind all of this, and it's going to be okay. And that's an attitude I don't think that I've ever, or a feeling that I don't think that I've ever had before. And I like it, but it's new. It's different. So I'm adjusting every time there's something new or different. You have to adjust to it, even good things. You know, people get married, it's a good thing. You still have to adjust to each other. People graduate, it's a good thing. But then it's like, what am I going to do with my life now that I've graduated? You know, there's always that sense of uncertainty, but I don't really feel a sense of uncertainty. I don't really know what I'm doing, but I just feel that sense of peace and like everything's going to be okay and it's going to be better. And this is just all part of a plan and it's okay. So I'm really grateful for that. And I'm really grateful that that sense of peace is lasting, and the new things coming up, and even seeing my car, that I'm still okay. And I mean, I'm devastated to see my car the way that it was, and it's kind of sinking in how horrific the accident was, and no wonder I struggle to remember things. No wonder I'm in so much pain, but nothing's broken. I'm alive. I am loved. I am blessed. God is watching out for me. He's in my life. He's taking care of me, and everything's going to be okay. And I am just so grateful for that. And I know that God loves each and all of his children, each and every one of his children. And he has a purpose for each of our lives. We just have to be willing to ask him what it is and to move in that direction. And I'm still a little nervous about asking what it is and moving in that direction. Still trying to process everything that's going on right now. But just grateful to and willing to bask in just the moment of feeling a sense of peace and that everything's going to be okay. And I'm just going to stay in that for right now. Eventually, I know I'm going to have to move forward and do something, but I'm just grateful for God's love for me and for seeing his hand in my life on a daily basis and getting to share that with other people, and know that if you look, you can always see God's hand in your life too. And that's all I have for today. So if you like these videos, you can hit like, subscribe, share with someone else if you think they'll like it too. And I hope you have a great day full of gratitude and find ways to recognize God's hand in your life too.